Alright, hello again students. This is to continue chapter 18 from Microeconomics Pindike. We are now at 18.4 Externalities and Property Rights. I'm going to just go through the important points, and then a lot of it will be interesting, will be for you to read. It makes a very interesting reading. So please take your time and go through the examples and explanations in the textbook. Now, property rights. Property right means legal rules stating what people or firms may do with their property. Now, usually property rights in most capitalistic economy is almost complete. If you buy something, you can do anything with that. If you buy a pen, you can do anything with the pen. You can just look at the pen, you can use it, you can burn it, you can do anything you want with it. So depends what is the property rights and whether the property rights will result in market failure, whether it will result in causing externalities, for instance. Although you have the right on your pen, but is there any external effect on other people, the way you use your pen, although it is well within the rights of your ownership, to do what you want with your pen. Okay, so the example given here is the right to dump. Okay, so let's say without government intervention, two parties, the externalities affect two parties. Okay, property rights are well specified. So there's a factory, and the factory dump pollutant agents into the river, and the external party here is the fisherman. Okay, now the fishermen suffer. Let's say there's no filter to reduce, there's no treatment plant. The fisherman suffers from the pollution resulting from the factory's action, and their profit is 100. Factory receive full profit 500, total profit 600. Is that okay? Now let's say the fisherman spent money to build a treatment plant, install a treatment device, so that the water becomes clean and they can increase their profit from fishing. So that's 200. The factory not affected. Profit 700. Okay, or alternatively, the fisherman may pay the factory, please buy a filter. So what they do is they buy a filter. They pay the factory to buy a filter. So factory's profit may reduce, but fisherman's profit will go up. Okay, so that is 800. So if they persuade the if they can persuade the factory to buy filter, then profit for the factory will reduce, but profit for the fisherman will increase. Total profit for the society will go up by 800. Or let's say the factory buy filter and the fisherman buy me, so 600. And if they do the treatment plant, 600. Now why is this so? Because the fishermen take from their money 200 to pay to the take from their money to pay to the factory, so that the factory can will use the money for the treatment plant and also for the filter. Okay, so maximization profit is actually at the second row, where the factory install the filter, the factory installs the filter, and the fishermen do not build a treatment plant. So how to make this happen? The fishermen must pay the factory, or the government must make the factory install the filter or something. Okay, so this is the solution just now. So without government intervention and with government intervention, how to make that happen, you will read later. So if government doesn't come in, you can have bargaining. bargaining only between you and the fisherman, between the factory and the fisherman. So the fisherman pay the factory 250 to install the filter, and with that you can achieve the efficient outcome. So when you see just now 500 and 300, yeah, where you have right to dump, right to clean water. Profit of fisherman will be 200 or 500, like we give example just now. But if you cooperate, then it will be 550, 300, 250, 200. Because what happens here is that the factory fisherman pay the factory 250. Okay, so when you cooperate, fisherman pay 250. So here, profit of the factory goes to profit of the factory split. That's now, so they pay 250 to the factory. Okay, remember this one is the filter. Okay, this is just filter, not treatment. So you must compare this now. So the cost theorem says that if you can bargain without cost, yeah, it's a costless bargaining, and the resulting outcome will be efficient, regardless of how property rights are specified. Okay, regardless of how property rights are specified. So you become an efficient achievement, efficient outcome. Okay, that's costless bargaining. But if costly bargaining, that means bargaining with cost, then of course it is time consuming and costly, and it can also risk breaking down. That means the bargaining does not proceed, the negotiation collapse. Okay, usually when the both parties they are very stubborn, yeah, or they are very confident, like they offer 500 million, for instance, and not $1 more, because they think that if they go to court they will win. So they don't want to go beyond this minimum amount that they set, and the other party wants let's say 1 billion, for instance. So if this person is confident, this one is not confident, then there's no bargaining, you have to go to court. Okay, another problem is when many parties are involved. This is one factory and there are many villages, for instance, affected. Again, the bargaining, because it's going to be difficult, because some villages may want to accept 200, some villages may want to accept 500, some villages may want to. So bargaining is difficult because you normally cannot get a single voice or a single consensus with so many parties involved, and therefore the bargaining can collapse again, right? So in this case, bargaining is costly, and when it is costly, it is inefficient. Okay, so you go to court, right? Alright, 18.6, common property resources. Common property resources example would be like a lake or a river, or an oil field. Right? There's let's just take an example of a lake, and when it is common property, so let me show you so when we look at the with the river, when you allow many fishermen to fish, so they have these individual fishing quantities, right? But if everyone fish as much as they want, the stock of fish will be affected. Yeah, stock of fish will be affected, and with stock of fish, it will also increase. It will reduce the rate of growth in fish quantities. Okay, so this is where the conflict is, where fishermen is allowed to fish as many as they want, but at the same time that action will reduce stock of fish, and when stock of fish is reduced, you'll have overfishing. That the stock of fish cannot grow as it would without overfishing. Okay, so the effect here is that the marginal social cost, if you can find a way to position the marginal social cost properly of fishing here versus the demand for fishing, then this will be the optimum amount of or the efficient level of fishing. But if you can't and you let everyone fish as much as they want, then they will probably fish like this, fishing at sea. Okay, where everybody think that this is common property and everyone can, they can fish as much as they want. So together they will fish up to FC. Okay, but if we consider the benefit to the society or to the lake, we should be, and we have a proper diagram, a proper estimation of that, we should fish up to only F star. Clear? Okay. Public goods. You've done this in basic principle. Any economics class, whether at pre-university level, would have had a discussion on public good. Okay, public good has got two characteristics, which makes it different from private goods: non-exclusive and non-rival. So let's look at non-rival. Non-rival means the marginal cost of producing it or letting another consumer enjoy is zero. So, for example, if you have a park, the cost of maintaining the park, alright, the cost of maintaining the park or the cost of creating the park is the same whether it is 100 people coming or 1,000 people coming. It's the same. Alright, that the marginal cost of one more unit of the park, marginal cost for one more unit of person benefiting from it, providing this service to the next person is zero. Okay, usually when you MC will increase but MC here is equals to zero when you add one more output, one more unit for another consumer to enjoy. Non-exclusivity means that people cannot be excluded from consuming. Okay, for example, military services or defense. Okay, defense. You can't say that the safety that you get from a strong military protection it's not something that you can charge to the beneficiary or the people. You can't say that if you want military, everyone must pay $5. If you want military protection for 1 week, for instance, you must pay $5. If everyone and people who do not pay $5 will not be protected, cannot, because the type of good here is military defense, so it is non-exclusive. You cannot exclude only people who pay and those who do not pay, and so on. So that's why in this case, everyone can enjoy public good. Okay, and therefore you have the problem of free rider. Okay, it's not a problem actually, but it means that you can't separate those who receive the benefit from those who does not receive the benefit once you have this produced. Okay, when the good is non-rival, social marginal benefit of consumption, which is given by D. So if we want to know how much is the demand, alright, in public goods there's no such thing as demand. There must be supply, yes, but demand is because it's public goods. You can't have willingness to pay by price and whatnot. So what you do is you try to find value to the people. Okay, so let's say this is the value which is depicted by the demand of first one, value to the first person, this one is value to the second person. And then when you do the horizontal summation, okay, you take D1 plus D2, you can have this up here, which is the total D, and we call this the the demand for the society. So how much they value that service, or how much they value that public good. Okay, and if this is the cost of its production, then the equilibrium will be found at the D and the marginal cost. So this is where equilibrium is 2 units, and the benefit value is 550. Okay. Now, can you make them pay? No. That 550 you can't make them pay. So how do you get money to pay for that 550? What you do will be to pay for. This is where the taxpayers' money will be used. That you collect money from everyone who has income beyond certain amount. So that tax money will be used to pay for production of the public goods. Okay. Now, this last section is going beyond understanding the how we decide on the quantity of public goods to be produced. Okay, so we call this private preferences. You can vote. Of course, you can vote your government. Government promise, which government promise what service. So you vote for the government that you like, based on their promises, based on their manifesto, for instance. But you can also have some kind of survey, for instance, the willingness to pay for education minus tax payment of each of your citizens. For instance, if your citizens are surveyed and they say that, okay, for us to get this degree or this diploma, for instance, we are willing to pay 100. And then since everyone is willing to pay, that is the value of the education for everyone, right? So you can have 3 people here, and the middle one vote for 1,200 spending. Okay, this is individual votes. Alright, one person voted 600, one person voted 1,800. So this guy will be the mean. Correct? So but if you take all this, divide by 3, this is average. So this is the average spending per person. But this is also 50%, 50%. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nobody there, right? So, but this is also the median, because he is the middle person. Okay, the median. So, the median voters' preference given by the peak is also the efficient level. So, how do you get the median? This is from the addition of all 3, and you get this one. This one is median. Sorry, this one is the median. Okay, but this one is the mean. So the level of spending, actually the efficient level of spending is 1,002, but the actual level of spending is the median voter. So the median voter is this one. Alright, the question is, what if your efficient level of spending, which is the mean, based on what people want, what people should decide, is not the same as the median. The median shows the preference. Okay, so this is an issue that is political economy issue, whether you want to give people based on the median or the preference, or based on the efficient mean or the median. Okay. So please read up. Thank you very much. This is the end of chapter 18.